in this video we will learn about multi-dimensional arrays, or we will learn it by an example of writing a Kotlin program to add two metrics using multi-dimensional arrays. Okay, so let's say there is a main function, and inside the main function there is value of rows. Let's say it is 2, and value of columns, let's say it is 3. Now there is a value and I have to define a array. Okay, so I hope you remember how to define an array. Now the value first matrix, and it is an array of now array of two small arrays. Okay, so it is an array of two arrays. Okay, so this is the multi-dimensional array. Okay, so I'll just define int array of, now let's say 2 3 4. Now this is a multi-dimensional array because there are arrays. There is an array of different arrays. Okay, there is two arrays 2 3 4, and let's say 5 2 3. Okay, I'll add another array, let's say 5 2 3. So the first matrix is an array of two different matrix, two int matrix. Okay, similarly let's say I have a second matrix, CCOND matrix. Okay, so let's say it is an array of int array -4 5 3, and let's say int array of 5 6 and 3. Okay, so we have two multi-dimensional arrays, first matrix and second matrix. Now we have to write a program to add these two matrices. Okay, so for adding these two matrices, what I'll do is, so what is adding of two matrices? If you remember in mathematics, the adding, if there is a matrix 1 2 3. Okay, okay, I have to comment it out. Okay, so if there is a matrix 1 2 3 and 4 2 3 4, so I have to add this matrix within a matrix with a matrix, let's say 5 6 7, and let's say 7 7 8 9. Okay, now what I will do is I'll add 1 with 5, okay, 2 with 6, 3 with 7, 2 with 7, 3 with 8, and 4 with 9 respectively. Okay, so this is the addition of matrix. Now for adding these two matrix, what I can do is I can introduce a variable sum, which is equals to the array rows of the int rows, just a second, rows of int array, and then columns. Okay, so what I did here is, firstly the two matrices are stored in a 2D array, namely first matrix and second matrix. We have also defined the number of rows and columns and stored them in variable rows and columns respectively. Then we initialized a new array. Then we will initialize a new array of the given rows and columns called sum. Okay, so the sum is the given rows and the columns of the 2 and 3 which is defined. Okay, so the sum is basically int array rows and int array columns. Okay, because this array has two rows. Okay, and inside these inside this there is a two int arrays, and each int array contains the number of columns, which is 3. Okay, so I have defined the sum here, which is 2 comma 3, let's say. So for I in 0 to rows -1. Okay, and inside this like we loop through each index of both arrays to add store the result, add and store the result. Okay, so for going through each array, so we will go through the first array for this, and inside this I'll introduce another for loop for the columns. So for j in 0 to columns -1. Okay, so by this we can iterate in the whole array or whole matrix, I can say. So sum I and j. Okay, because sum is what? Sum is basically this thing. So sum ij is equals to first matrix of ij, I and first matrix j, and then sum of first matrix and second matrix. So what is happening here, I will explain it again to make it very much clear for you. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, so the first matrix, let's see here. Okay, yeah, so the one here I can call the one as first matrix 1 1. Okay, I can call it as first matrix 1 2. So for iterating in ij, so I have introduced two for loops, and the first is called 0, zeroth element, second is called the second element, third is called the third element. That's why it is row -1 and column -1. Okay, so the sum will be, the addition of two matrices will be pretty clear for you. Okay, so finally we looped through each element in the sum array using for loop to print. So yeah, so for printing or displaying the result, we have to display the result also, right? Display the result. So for displaying the result, I'll print the firstly sum of the two matrices is. Okay, now what is the sum? So for printing the sum, we have again we again have to use the loops. So for row in sum, okay, and inside this I have to again introduce a for loop for column in sum. Column in sum, I have to print, not println, I have to print the value of column and then some spaces. Okay, so I have printed the column and then again iterated and then again print another column. Okay, and then println. Okay, so when I go ahead and run this, okay, there is some problem with it. Let me see what is. Okay, yeah, so when I run this program, I can see that the sum of two matrices is -2 8 7 10 8 6. Oh, I can cross check it also with this 2 -4, 3 plus 5, 4 plus 3, 2 plus 5 plus 5, 2 plus 6 and 3 plus 3. Okay, so this is correct. In this video we have learned about the multidimensional arrays and how to add two matrices. We have coded the code in Kotlin. Okay, so thank you for watching this video. Stay tuned.